Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at another video, but first I want to quick say thank you to everybody who has subscribed recently. We hit 16,000 subscribers. It's so amazing. The community has been so awesome. So I just want to start the video by saying thank you to everybody who, the recent subscribers and the long-time subscribers. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it so much. But we're going to look at some differences today between, we got the British grocery stores and we got the American grocery stores. So apparently we got some different grocery stores than you Brits over there, and I'm a little bit interested to see some of the differences. Our buddy Beasley, he I think looked at this video. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm excited. We're gonna take a look at it. If you end up liking this video, smash the like button, subscribe button. Moving on to 17,000, and hit that bell notification so you can stay tuned on when I post more videos. But I'm gonna get the ears on. We're gonna get going. Let's go.
The other country, why not play a game of, oh look, it's that thing we have back home, but they call it something wildly different. Isn't this fun?
I think I've seen this guy before. I think he makes good videos.
I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to grocery stores, or should I say supermarkets, because that's what we call them in the UK. Weirdly, I've been doing this channel now for about nearly 5 years, and I don't think I've really ever touched on the major differences between grocery stores and supermarkets.
Real quick, we do call them supermarkets here, just in case anybody was wondering. Some people do call them supermarkets. I think it's kind of a regional thing. Some people might call them supermarkets. Some people might call them grocery stores. We call them grocery stores up here, but yeah, supermarkets is a thing.
It's probably because the nauseating experience of walking around said stores is second only to malls. I'll be honest with you, we get our shopping delivered. Haven't had to walk into a grocery store in about 3 years. But I did do some research, so it's fine. And so without further ado, let's take a look at 5 big ways that British and American grocery stores / supermarkets are so very, very different.
Let's go. The layout, all right.
As you can probably imagine, the layout of American grocery stores tends to be slightly different to that of Britain, but that makes sense. I mean, the United States itself is laid out quite differently to Britain. I don't just mean it's a different shape, I mean it incorporates different shapes. I did a video on this. Basically, America is obsessed with rectangles. Anyway, that's not connected to today's video. I think this difference might have changed a little bit in recent years. For instance, it's a common practice in both countries now to put the fresh veg right near the entrance section to give this illusion of health as you walk in, and then you walk over to the chocolate and everything falls apart. But other than that, as you're walking around the stores,
never thought of that,
you will see the odd difference, sometimes very odd difference. So for instance, in some British grocery stores / supermarkets, you might find the eggs not in the dairy section. What's that all about? And since I've moved to America, that seems to make sense, right? It's with the cheese, it's with the milk, the whipped cream, and sort of genre-wise, that does make sense. But sometimes you will find things like eggs just hanging around with the beans in England, and not refrigerated either. That's a shocking thing for a lot of Americans when they see that. The wine section.
To be fair, I have eaten farm eggs, and we don't refrigerate farm eggs. They don't need to be refrigerated. But the minute you clean an egg, from what I've been told, you should refrigerate it, or the shelf life is only like a week or less. So it is interesting. I'm curious if they do like clean the eggs, the ones that aren't refrigerated in the UK, or if the shelf life is just really small and everybody's kind of on that same page. And so that if you're buying non-cooled eggs, I guess, or non-refrigerated eggs, that you need to use them within a few days. Interesting.
Might be found in a different spot to where you'd find it in US grocery stores. Across both countries, though, it's always going to differ, especially depending on the actual store itself. So keep an eye out for that. And kind of connected to layout is our next entry.
Size.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Size is not everything, though you probably wouldn't believe that if you saw the difference between UK supermarkets and American grocery stores. I used to think as a kid that
I'm guessing ours are bigger.
My mum would drag me around Asda, which is one of our major supermarkets, that particular supermarket was absolutely huge. And then I moved to America, and I was equally dragged around Walmart. And in recent years, the comparison between the two has become quite apt, and that is because Walmart owns Asda. But the fact remains that Asda, most of them anyway, are not located within their own zip code, postcode. Whereas Walmart, it might as well have its own zip code. They're absolutely huge. They're so large, in fact, that just walking around the perimeter is enough for your weekly exercise. Which I suppose is good considering all of the calories that you're about to buy. And because Walmart, and to a lesser extent Kroger, are absolutely massive, that means you have the following.
So real quick, Walmart is more than just a grocery store, and I'm sure he understands this. But Target here is also doing a similar thing where they're selling groceries as well as everything else, like clothes and furniture and everything. So I think that's part of the reason why some of these stores get so big. But to his point, like Kroger, or there's even like Publix or some of these other ones, they're very good size depending on the city. They can get just as big as a Walmart, but it's pretty much all food and different stuff like that. So it's a fair point. Variety.
In the United Kingdom, nationwide, you've got the likes of Sainsbury's, Tesco, Morrison's, Asda. So we have choice in that regard, but once you get inside the stores, we probably don't have quite as much to offer as the United States, who, for instance, provide you with about 27 varieties of Coca-Cola. I haven't tried them all. In fact, I've barely tried any of them, but the rule seems to be that the brighter the packaging, the more varieties there'll be, and also the brighter the packaging, the least healthy it'll be. So to reiterate, American aisles have more variety than British aisles. That was a joke, wordplay. British Isles.
British
Isles.
Isles.
Good. Walmart has such variety. You can even buy auto parts. They're usually at the back of the store, which is not the best place between you and me, because
that's what I was kind of saying.
Tire. How are you going to get that out? You could roll it. That's true. In fact,
that would roll it.
Amazing. I might do that next time I'm in Walmart. I've just remembered I'm never going back in a Walmart. So
I wouldn't either. I hate Walmart.
And speaking of purchases, once you get to the till/cash register, there's another chief difference between our two countries.
Sales tax.
I have to admit, this one got me long before I moved to the United States. When I was visiting the state of Maine in 2004, I walked into a music shop, as you do. I much prefer music shops to supermarkets anyway. And I purchased a ukulele. I think I talked about this very recently.
I got a ukulele.
In doing so, of course, I looked at the price. $15, which is cheap. Don't ever do that again.
It's a shitty ukulele.
It lasted, but it didn't last very long. So I took it to the counter, expecting to pay exactly that in $3 $5 bills, only to be told,
$17.32.
I mean,
I got it right. I guessed it perfect.
Where that additional $2 came from, and it turns out that sales tax is applied at the point.
That's
sale,
awesome.
Whereas in the United Kingdom, what you see on the price tag in the aisle itself is exactly what you'll pay for that item. So there's no surprises when you get to the till.
I am curious. Do you guys still have the sales tax in the UK? They just include it in the price, because there are a few places that do that here. It'll say, this is the price including tax, or you guys just don't have sales tax at all. I'm pretty sure you guys have higher taxes than us in general. Maybe you guys shift that. You don't have a sales tax, but you have a higher income tax or a federal tax. I'm really not sure how the tax system works in the UK. I know part of the reason America wanted to get away from the UK back in the day was because of the taxes. So I'm just going off on a limb that you guys might have higher taxes than us. Just a guess, but that is interesting. And I do hear complaints from not just British people, but people from around the world who they come and they see the price, and then when they get rung up, that's not the actual price they saw because of sales taxes. So that's a very interesting point.
I should say that, I think in England, even when I'd go grocery shopping, I didn't calculate in my head each item as I went along, so I never really had a great idea about what that total was going to be anyway. It's usually when you're just purchasing single items, this problem first arises. But anybody that's visiting America from the UK who usually doesn't give a second thought to VAT, you will have to give thought to sales tax, which is kind of the equivalent here of VAT. And like I said, that sales tax is not applied to the whole store before you even go in. You'll see it applied to your receipt after the fact. It's not a huge deal. I got used to it, after a couple of years. One thing I'm still getting used to, though, is our final entry.
Real quick on taxes, though. I don't know, maybe he does know this. I'm sure he does. But if anybody is coming to America and you don't know this, sales tax is different in every state. Every state has their own sales tax rate, and some states are higher than others. So there are some states with really low taxes, and like even with income tax, like Florida, for example, has no income tax. So it's kind of a nice thing. So every state's a little different. I believe Maine probably has higher taxes than some of the other parts of the country, but yeah, it really depends on where you go. And I think our sales tax in Minnesota is 7.5%. It used to be 6.5. I think it's 7.5 now. So basically, whatever your total is, multiplied by or add an additional 7%.
Yes, brand differences, and I'm not talking about, you know, this particular brand that you simply can't get an equivalent of in the UK. No, I'm talking about the exact same object, or typically food item, that has the same font and everything and look about it, but a completely different name. Take, for instance, Axe versus Lynx. They're deodorants, don't eat them. I'm not suggesting these are all food items, but if you are a 14-year-old boy, you know what Axe deodorant is. Or Lynx. They are exactly the same thing. They both have an X in it, much like an inordinate amount of brand differences, actually. You've got TJ Maxx versus TK Maxx. You've got ExxonMobil versus Esso. You've got Dove versus Galaxy. Alexa, what are they going to change your name to? I don't have Alexa. That was just a joke. But if you're from the US and you go over to the UK and you're walking around the shopping aisles and you're looking out for crisps / potato chips and you see one that looks a little bit like Lay's, you know, Lay's, the
Smithies
crisp company, it'll be called Walkers. But
what the hell? Okay, Australians, you got Smithies that are basically the same thing as packaging as Lay's, and then you UK folk got the Walkers. Are they all under the same company? They just have to do different names in different countries, or is it just like a branding thing to try and, like, you know, maximize profits? Like, I would understand, like, some, you know, Lay's might not do as well in different countries, like the brand name. I gotta look more into this because this has got me confused. Like the Dove thing with the Galaxy, that's weird. And then like the link, yeah, this is interesting. Okay, I didn't know this.
Everything else about it is the same, except for some of the flavors. Bear that in mind. And some of the chocolate seems to live in an entirely different universe. Literally, in some cases, like I said before, the British Galaxy bar is Dove in America. Milky Way is Three Musketeers, and Mars is Milky Way.
Oh wait! Now I'm confused. Because we got that Milky Way. That's our Milky Way. Okay, now I don't know what the hell.
It's all one star cluster of monumental differences. And of course, there are absolutely loads. So next time you're in the other country, why not play a game of, oh, look, it's that thing we have back home, but they call it something wildly different. Isn't this fun? You know, you might get bored after a while. But send me your pictures. It will be amazing. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below some
very good
observation.
All right, that was actually a pretty interesting video. Some stuff I didn't really know. I was also wondering too, because I've heard this and they didn't mention it, but it was my understanding, you know, we also have like a lot more cereal. I think that was a thing that I heard. I don't know, maybe you guys in the UK do. Let me know. Or maybe other places around the world don't have, but we have like a whole aisle just for cereal. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if that's something you guys in the UK or other places around the world have. We probably got like 200 different types of cereal and all in one aisle. And yeah, interesting. So I am gonna have to look into this candy situation, or lollies as you guys call it over in Australia. Do you guys call it candy in the UK too? Please say yes. I hope you guys call it candy like normal people. But good stuff. This is an interesting video. I do like this guy's videos. I know I've watched something of his before. I can't put my finger on it, but I do have another video of his that I want to watch, and it's going to be the 4 ways British and American houses are very different. So stay tuned. We'll be coming out with that in the near future. But I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, help us get to 17,000, and make sure you hit that bell notification so you can stay tuned in on when I post my videos. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Gotta stop hitting the mic. Peace, love. We'll see you later.